Hey guys, it's Joe, and welcome back to another episode. Today, we have a Ford Focus 2004, and we're doing an alternator. It's not fun. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is get this bolt out of here. I already loosened it, so we're just going to take it out. And then just lift the reservoir up off of the clip, and you can set it aside. Put the screw in so we don't lose it. And then you can take a pry bar and kind of go under one of these little tabs and lift the power steering reservoir up out of the way. Just wiggle that, it'll eventually come loose. There we go. Alright. We have a little bit better access to where the alternator is. Next thing we have to do is get this bracket off, which attaches to the wire loom. It goes down to the alternator. That nut is a 15 millimeter. Forgot to mention that that also holds on the top bolt for the heat shield that goes around the alternator. Now we can use the same 15 to get the top nut off. Alright, now we're going to use a 10 millimeter to take two bolts off this splash guard. Alright, now that the splash guard's out of the way, we're going to get the belt off. The tension is here towards the back of the motor. That's a 15 millimeter head on it. The easiest way I have to do it, because it's so close to the frame, is to put 2 wrenches on it. Alright, belt's out, and let's start getting the alternator out. Alright, well, on the bottom side, to make things a little bit easier, you're going to want to take this motor mount bolt out. That'll allow you to move the engine forward for the remainder of the removal of the alternator. Trust me, it'll give you 1,000,000 times more load. And you're going to want every inch of it. And we're out. Alright, now you're going to want to take a pry bar, get up in between the transmission and the half shaft, pull out, and stick the bolt back in. You can now let it go and rest on the motor mount. And we'll throw it in a few threads just so we know that we don't ruin them. Alright, I can feel the bolt coming out the back side. So let's see if that's good enough. Alright, so I have the other end of this ratchet strap tied to one of my other trucks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of pressure on this to try and just pull the motor forward another extra couple inches. Alright, and that's all I want because I don't want to put too much on this and have it pull it off the jack stands. Alright, you can't see it because somebody didn't put it back on, but there's supposed to be a nut right here that holds this plate on. This heat shield rather. So, the top one off and the bottom one off. Kind of finagle. Now that it's out, we have a bolt and another stud. This is a stud, this is not a bolt. This nut comes off, the stud stays behind. This is a little vent tube, helps the alternator breathe. That should just pump right off. Like so. Now, the snorkel out of the way, we can get this nut off, get the wire out of the way, get this nut off, get this bolt out, and start trying to get this alternator out. Now, what's probably the oddest pieces of engineering, we have a 13 for the bolt, 15 for the nut, and a 10 for the nut. Like I said, we'll start up here and work our way down. That's not exactly the best nut to drop. It's supposed to be attached to the end of this wire, but it's not. So I'm going to have to dig that out after. Next we'll get the 13. And now lastly, this 15. Now I was not able to get the pigtail off, so please stay with me while I try and wrestle that off. As you can probably see, it's not out yet. I can't get to the pigtail with this housing part of the snorkel in the way. So there's 4 bolts that hold it on. They're all 8 millimeters. So I'm just going to, they're actually nuts. So I'm just going to take those off. Alright, now we can take this stupid piece of plastic off. Oh, we should be able to. I've walked it off that far, I can actually see the connector. Oh, good enough. Now you can see the connector fully. So what I'm going to do, so I don't pull the alternator off with it, is just hand thread this back on. And I'll try and get this. Easy as pie. Well, that's two nuts I have to find. Now, everything's off, everything's out of the way. Top will come off first, then the bottom, and we'll slide it. You were in the way, but it's out.